So welcome back to Decoy Noise and another episode of Am I the Antagonist with Am I the Antagonist for not paying for someone else's art supplies my kid ruined? So another episode of Furlough with Decoy Noise. I'm out of work for the time being. I'm giving myself a new tattoo every single day. In the comments, they told me to get one on the neck and also on the hand, so went out and did it. Got nothing else to do, so I'm doing new episodes twice a day, every 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you haven't already, subscribe so you can see all that stuff and see me descend into madness because I'm just kind of at home. But also, if you haven't already, let me know what subscriber number you are. It really helps me track the channel growth. But then also, forget it. Let's just get into this video right now because I want to know what actually happened here. So OP says, this happened early in March, but the situation is still going on. I have a 5-year-old daughter who we'll call Emma, not a real name. We live in a neighborhood full of families with young children, so it's not unusual for kids from different families to play together with 1 or 2 parents supervising. I'm also occasionally the supervising parent, so it's not like I just expect other people to watch my kid. Early in March, Emma was playing over at another 5-year-old girl's house with the other kid's mom. Let's call her the mom Lena, supervising. Lena later told me that the nephew was also visiting at the time, and he ended up having an accident, and Lena had to go clean him up. In the meantime, while Lena wasn't supervising her, Emma had gone to Lena's art room, she is a professional artist, and played around with her art supplies. She ended up destroying a few of her paintings and brushes. When Lena got back, she got mad at Emma and brought her back to my house. She told Emma to explain what she did, and she told me that she had played with Lena's art stuff. Lena told me that showed me pictures of the art room, and after Emma had played there, and I admit it looked awful. I apologized profusely and told her that I'll have a talk with Emma. Lena told me that wouldn't be enough and that she needs me to pay for all the damages. I told her that she shouldn't ask me to pay for all of it if her daughter also had her part in ruining the stuff. Lena told me that her daughter knows not to touch her stuff and that Emma did it all by herself. I took Emma inside and asked Lena how much I had to pay. She told me the amount, and it was almost in thousands. Oh my gosh. I'm not doing well financially and told her I can't pay that amount. She started yelling at me about how Emma ruined her artwork and brushes and how that's a huge financial loss for her. But I asked her that if I don't have that kind of money, how am I supposed to pay for it? At this point, my boyfriend came to the door and told her to leave, and Lena left with the other kids that she had with her. A day or two afterwards, she came knocking on my door with 2 of her relatives, a man and a woman, and they all started talking loudly at me and telling me that I should pay for her art supplies. I got angry and told them that Lena should have supervised Emma if she wanted to make sure her art stuff would be untouched. They all seemed to get even angrier, and then the man asked if I could pay for it partially now and the rest later. I don't have anything to take money from, and at that point I was just done and I said nope and closed the door. Ever since that, I've been receiving messages from Lena, her brother, her cousin, her sister-in-law, just basically all of her relatives telling me to pay for Lena's art stuff and threatening me with court. I think they're overreacting at this point, and I'm just so done with them. I don't know what to think. Am I the antagonist? So good thing you have Decoy Court, where I'm just going to take it to knee-jerk reactions. I have no actual expertise in any of this stuff, but I'm going to give my knee-jerk reaction and say that, look, if you're babysitting a whole bunch of 5-year-old kids, don't leave out like Fabergé eggs and like priceless stuff and art brush and supplies and stuff because kids just mess stuff up. Like I got nephews and nieces and stuff like that, and it's so bad that if I give them a ride in my car, I have a nice like I have a cat pillow I use. So if I'm at work and I just want to take a break, I go to my car and I sleep in my very, very nice cat pillow. If my nieces and nephews are taking a ride in my car, I hide that thing. I remember I was having my brother used the car to drive them somewhere, and I even took the cat pillow out, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just need this with me right now because I know they're just always sticky. They're gonna be touching stuff, they're gonna put their feet everywhere, it's just gonna be a mess. So it's like, I'm not saying it's entirely like Lena's fault, but then again, yes I am. I'm saying, look, you can't leave like the door open for the kids to run in and mess it up. Like that's part of your deal or whatever. But I mean, at the end of it, if she had the money, should she try to help pay for it? Yeah, or should she help have the OP go over there and help clean it up because it was a mess? Yeah, probably, but I mean, we don't even have evidence that it was just OP's daughter, Emma. Was it Lena's kid too? Like, who knows? Like, there's no evidence or whatever. My advice to original poster here is, if this is in the States, she can take her to small claims court, and let's go to small claims court. Let's figure it out. Let's see, like, if you can actually do it. But I can see this, if you can actually take me to small claims court and win, cool, by all means, let's do it. But I think that if this went to somewhere, like, I feel like Judge Judy would see this, Judge Judy's throwing her out of the door. Like, she's like, absolutely not. Like, that's your responsibility. Just because you are not good at watching kids, or you overbooked yourself in the sense of who I'm gonna watch today, that's not my fault. I'm not paying you almost $1,000 because you slipped up. Like, that's not my fault or whatever. But like I always say, make sure you guys pause the video right now, drop down your comments down below before we look over some top comments, some controversial comments, because those are always the best. But I want to know what you, the viewer, are thinking, because we're going to go to decoynoise.com/koi to kind of like say who's giving me good comments in the YouTube channel itself. But I mean, let's get into this top comments on the post itself. So, top post: you're the antagonist. Your child didn't ruin art supplies, they ruined her work supplies. It wasn't a couple of arts and crafts from Michael's professional grade costs lots of money. Okay, so that actual person, this is the first time that I don't agree with the top comment or whatever. It's this is the top comment, 447 points, and they're saying that everybody agrees with it. So it's like, yeah, she ruined some top grade stuff or whatever, but I mean, okay, let's see what the next reply is. To be fair, I don't think OP is trivializing her friend's tools or profession. She never said that the painting was just a hobby, or that the supplies should be replaced for cheaper, or that precious child should have been allowed to play in that room. She's simply saying she doesn't have the money, and so how is she supposed to pay? She's arguably still responsible, but she's not being entitled. And the thing is, though, is so... From what I understand, like, if you got a kid, and he goes out with his friends, and... like, you're the parent and you're supposed to be watching your kid, and he like vandalizes like a bus bench or whatever, and cop sees it and stops him and takes him back home. It's like, it's the parent's fault because the kid doesn't know any better. He's like 10 or whatever. It's like, oh yes, he knows that he shouldn't be vandalizing a bus bench, but it's still, you're not going to charge a kid. I guess you do charge a kid, but ultimately financially responsible is the parent. So if OP said, hey, look, Lena, you're responsible for my kid, I'm leaving him at your house, watch over him, and the kid does something wrong, isn't that kind of on Lena instead? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not the expert in any of this. So in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just my knee-jerk reaction. Next reply: she can do a payment plan, and it should be at a reduced price because Emma should have been watching. No, should have been watched is what they're trying to say. Yeah. Also, should find out if Emma's daughter had any part in the destruction, if it's Lena's daughter had any part in the destruction, because my daughter knows not to touch it isn't an actual answer, it's an assumption. And that's what I mean, like, it's kind of on her or whatever. I think maybe she's just lashing out, and, you know, maybe when Lena went out to tell other people the situation, it just kept on getting progressively more Emma's fault as she went along, so that's why everybody's kind of taking her side. But let's look at the next post. So the next post is actually not the antagonist. This is ridiculous. If I'm babysitting a bunch of 5-year-olds at my place, I'm not going to leave the door open to my room of $1,000 guitar amps that I make money with because I know someone's kid goes in there with some juice and spills it all over my electronics. Their parents aren't going to be able to pull up the $2,000 to $3,000 out of thin air to reimburse me. It's called being responsible for your valuables. Lady should have thought of this before she had a bunch of kids in her house. And then also an edit. If the child had gone in there and swallowed some toxic paint, would it still be OP's fault? No, it would be the babysitters for leaving it available. Just like if I left the keys to my motorcycle in the ignition and let the baby wander around the garage, am I going to get mad if somehow the child breaks something? No, your babysitter/neighbor is incompetent. And you know what? I'm glad that I've been is it word vindicated or no? Oh, whatever. No, that's revenge. Gosh. Okay, whatever. I'm reassured that my knee-jerk reaction was right, because this guy's true. It's like, hey, look, if there was like toxic paint down there, it can't be like, hey, look, I was in charge of watching the kid. How dare your kid go in there when I'm not watching it because I'm changing the diaper of this other person or whatever? Like, come on, man. Like, this seems more rational, but I mean, in the comments, let me know what your knee-jerk reaction is. So the next reply to that was, I agree. She left children unsupervised around thousands of dollars worth of equipment and art. Had she ever made it clear to the visiting children they weren't allowed in that room? If you're going to leave visiting children to wander your house, you should have things they shouldn't get into locked up, not the antagonist. So yeah, I think that's good. A lot of people are on the other side, but let's see. Okay, so we have another reply that is in the other way. You're the antagonist. Your daughter destroyed her stuff, set up a payment plan or something. Okay, so back and forth, back and forth. And also, you're the antagonist. Unfortunately, as a parent, you are responsible for what your kid does, especially if they destroy valuables in someone else's home. This may be aggressive in their approach, but you aren't going to willingly pay that back anyway, judging by the first interaction over this, where you blamed it on the artist's kid. Even after your daughter admitted that she did it, then scoffed at the price and refused to pay. You could have said, sorry, I don't have a lot of spare money at the moment. We can work out something and maintain a good relationship, but you burned that bridge. Also, say goodbye to all those play dates with the neighbor's kids. Word's gonna get around that your daughter destroyed expensive property and you refuse to pay back the owner. See, I'm not a parent, so I wouldn't really know, but I feel like, hey, if this is the situation where it's like, hey, you watch my kid and then the kid's gonna get into massive trouble, so that's my fault when you're on watch or whatever. So it's like, I don't think I want any more of those play dates. Sad for the kid because they probably had fun over there, but it's like, no, this is going to be more trouble. Like, this was a ticking time bomb waiting to happen where either this parent or another parent, if they all side with them, it just doesn't seem like a good situation. So you know what? Maybe this is a blessing in disguise, but let's read on. Next reply. Hopefully it does, as this parent sounds very entitled. 5 years old, they should be teaching their kid to not touch other people's stuff. I feel like that's projection. Like, where do we know that they didn't tell them that happened? And then also, we still don't have evidence that it was like OP's kid, not like the Lena's kid that did it. So yeah, but I mean, like I always said, I'm enjoying this back and forth comments, but I feel like in the reading replies of the Decoy Coy voice, you guys are going to have some good replies too, because I'm guessing that I'm wrong to a lot of you and that I'm right to a lot of other people, so it's good that this is in the air. But I mean, let's get to some controversial comments, because that's where the real goods are right now, to see when people can't agree and they just argue. But let's see. Top controversial comment. Not the antagonist. She should have made sure unsupervised toddlers do not have access to valuable or dangerous objects. She's responsible for the damage. It doesn't matter how you have educated them about stuff like that. Children of that age are unpredictable and precautions have to be taken. And that person got 0 votes or whatever. I feel like I mean, yeah, they're 0 karma for that post or whatever. But the one thing I could also say is, if they looked at the picture of the room and it was so messed up, like this was destroyed, that was destroyed, it leads me to believe that Lena says, oh, the other kid had an accident, so I went to the other room to change the diaper or clean him up or whatever. I mean, I'm no expert, but maybe that takes 5 minutes tops. 5 minutes tops to clean up that kid. Well, no, maybe, yeah, 5 minutes top. How messy was that stuff to do like $900 worth of damage? How long had they been unsupervised? I don't think that they said, okay, let's change this diaper, and then the kids just sprinted over there and immediately started tearing things apart. I mean, maybe not, but it seems like there's a little bit of Lena's a little bit more responsible for this than we're being led on to believe. But let's look at the next top controversial reply. You're the antagonist because you're responsible for damages caused by your child. And then also, not the antagonist. She left your child unsupervised and left paintings and supplies worth thousands of dollars accessible, not locked away to a 5-year-old. So I probably should have done this in the start. This is a decoy noise versus battle between me, the commenters, and probably you guys on this channel as well, because it's just going to be in the air as to whether or not they're the antagonist. Should they have done this? Should they have not have done this? We're kind of in the air, so I mean, let me know below what you're thinking. But also, if you got some free time, go check out the decoynoise.com. It's all just the videos that are posted on here as well. But then also we have the Decoy Coy part of the website, which is just, this isn't finished yet, but I'm going to try to figure out a way that I can have, like, you know, the subscribers, commenters, whatever, like, you know, just some sort of scoring thing. But if you let me know what subscriber number you are, I'll put you guys up here and just try to, like, you know, flesh out the website. You know, I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I'm going to have a lot of stuff on here. So if you have some time, go check it out and let me know how you feel about it. But I mean, that's about it for me today. Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Check out that video over there. But I mean, yeah, let me know how wrong you think I am or how right I am, because this one seems to have everybody divided. Maybe somebody that actually has children that babysits often can kind of shed some more light as to what should and shouldn't happen with this whole situation. Are they liable? Should they pay? Should they pay half? Who knows? Let me know.